Let's get right into it. Number 10. Drunken moose mayhem. Imagine walking into your backyard and finding a 1,000-pound moose wobbling around, like it just lost a bet with gravity. This isn't a Disney moment. This is a moose that has discovered fermented apple snatch's version of I Dare You. Moose don't seek out alcohol because they're stressed about their taxes. They do it because rotting fruit is basically a fruity cocktail that evolution forgot to label drink responsibly. When apples, berries or crab apples sit long enough, wild yeast throw a fermentation party. The result? A naturally alcoholic fruit smoothie with enough kick to put a moose into interpretive dance mode. And since moose can eat literal buckets of this stuff in one go, their digestive system turns into a mobile brewery. Suddenly, this majestic forest creature transforms into a confused, swaying giant who tries to fight tree branches, misjudge where the ground is, and occasionally take naps in snowbanks, like an oversized woodland frat bro. Scientifically, it's not that moose want to get high, they're just following the scent of easy calories. Fermented fruit has sugar, sweetness, and a smell that says, "Hey buddy, come ruin someone's garden." The buzz is just an evolutionary side quest. Your ancestors went for fire. Moose went for cider. Basically, moose are living proof that even nature's most intimidating animals can get peer-pressured by fruit. Number 9. Dolphins and pufferfish parties. Some animals hunt, some migrate, and then there are dolphins' ocean geniuses who apparently hold underwater get-togethers involving pufferfish toxins. Yes, dolphins intentionally annoy pufferfish, so the fish release a small dose of tetrodotoxin, which in tiny amounts doesn't kill them, it just gives them a mellow, floaty, wow, the bubbles feel philosophical today sensation. These aren't accidents. Dolphins have been seen passing the same pufferfish around, like it's the world's least safe beach ball, nudging it gently so it releases just enough toxin to get everyone vibing, but not enough to send the whole pod to the great aquarium in the sky. And while you're still processing that, remember dolphins are smart like problem-solving, teamwork flexing, prank-pulling smart. So this behavior might not be random curiosity. It might be recreational. Biologically, tetrodotoxin is a nerve blocker. Too much stops your lungs. Tiny doses just make everything feel slow and dreamy. Like the ocean suddenly turned into warm soup. Dolphins respond by floating in formation near the surface, staring at their reflections like they're contemplating the meaning of life. It's not exactly textbook marine biology unless the textbook is titled Things Dolphins Do because they're too intelligent for their own good. Number 8. Reindeer on shrooms. Somewhere in the snow-covered Siberian wilderness, a reindeer is casually trotting along when it spots something special poking out of the frozen ground. A bright red and white Amanita muscaria mushroom. You know, the classic storybook mushroom that looks like it should be hosting a fairy or a tiny wizard. To humans, it's toxic and hallucinogenic. To reindeer, it's basically the forest version of a double-shot espresso with bonus psychedelic chaos. Reindeer have been observed actively seeking out these mushrooms, nibbling them, then trotting around in erratic patterns like they're auditioning for a holiday rave. Some even leap, prance, and make strange snorting noises, as if gravity suddenly became optional. Scientists suspect the compounds in the mushroom, mainly muscimol, hit their nervous systems in a way that amps them up rather than knocking them out. The weirdest part, some historians think ancient shamans noticed the reindeer tripping on these mushrooms and copied them, which may, maybe, possibly, allegedly, be part of where the Santa-flying reindeer mythology comes from. Yes, there is a non-zero chance the origin of magical reindeer flight is just Siberian wildlife having hallucinatory zoomies. Your brain now has to live with that. Reindeer weren't just pulling sleighs, they were seeing entire winter wonderlands that did not exist. Basically, these animals didn't need Christmas magic. They had mushrooms. Number 7. Jaguars chewing psycho vines. Picture a jaguar apex predator, stealth master, terrifyingly graceful murder cat. Now picture that same jaguar gnawing on a jungle vine like a stressed college student chewing on a hoodie string. This isn't normal plant behavior. This is ayahuasca vine, the same one used in human spiritual ceremonies, known for its hallucinogenic properties. Researchers and local communities have noted jaguars seeking out certain Banisteriopsis cuppi vines, chewing on them, then slipping into a trance-like state. Instead of roaring through the jungle like a furry missile, they slow down, roll around, or stare intensely at nothing. Your brain expects National Geographic. What you get is Big Cat on introspective retreat. Chemically, these vines contain Harmala alkaloids, which can alter perception, movement, and mood. For humans, it's deeply spiritual. For jaguars? Who knows? Maybe they're seeing cosmic patterns in the leaves. Maybe they're just vibing. Maybe they're experiencing the jungle's most dramatic episode of woe. Everything is made of jungle. Some theories suggest it may even sharpen their senses afterward, like a biological reset button. Others say jaguars are just like us, curious, occasionally reckless, and always willing to chew on something questionable if the vibes are right. Basically, the deadliest animal in the rainforest sometimes takes a break from hunting to explore its mystical side. Respect. Number 6. Wallabies on opium fields. Australia is home to many things designed to terrify Ugent spiders, snake shortages, not really, and heat waves that make you question your existence. But here's something even weirder. Wallabies bouncing around legally grown opium poppy fields while extremely, unmistakably high. Farmers have reported wallabies sneaking into poppy farms, nibbling the plants, and then hopping in wobbly, loopy circles like they're rehearsing for a surreal kangaroo ballet. Some even create crop circles not the alien kind, the marsupial hopped in a drug-induced spiral kind. The active compounds in opium poppy's morphine and codeine precursors can sedate mammals, change pain perception, and mess with coordination. Wallabies apparently take one bite and go, "This is incredible," then immediately forget how hopping works. Australia's government has even acknowledged this behaviour, meaning this isn't myth, rumour, or Australian humour. This is real wildlife stumbling around like cartoon characters who found the wrong snack. Your ancestors discovered agriculture. Wallabies discovered narcotics. Evolution works in mysterious ways. Basically, these animals aren't destroying crops, they're just having a spiritual journey at 3 miles per hour. Number 5. Lemurs that love poison. Imagine a tiny lemurcute, fluffy, big round eyes suddenly grabbing a millipede like it's a scented candle. But instead of sniffing it politely, the lemur bites it, drools all over it, rubs the toxic goo into its fur and then zones out like it just transcended earthly concerns. This isn't a breakdown, this is recreational bug use. Many millipedes release mild toxins when threatened chemicals that can repel parasites. Lemurs, being clever little creatures with zero fear of questionable decisions, learned that these toxins also leave them slightly dazed. So they chew the millipede just enough to make it defensive, drool coating the toxins, then smear the mixture on themselves for pest control, and then sit back and enjoy the neurological side effects. It's basically self-care, jungle edition. A spa day sponsored by Venom. Scientists suspect the combination of alkaloids and benzoquinones affects the lemur nervous system, producing a relaxed, dreamy state. Meanwhile, the lemur is lounging in a tree, like it just paid for a premium aromatherapy session. Of course, the millipede is not having a good day, but the lemur? The lemur is glowing, spiritually, emotionally, chemically. Basically, these animals turned their parasite repellent routine into a full-on vibe ritual. Number 4. Bighorn sheep and their mineral addiction. Deep in the mountains, bighorn sheep are scaling cliffs that would make a human faint just from looking at them. But why are they climbing like they're auditioning for a gravity-defying circus? Simple. Drugs. Well rocks. But drug rocks. Certain lichen and mineral deposits contain small amounts of narcotic alkaloids. Bighorn sheep will risk their entire existence to lick these danger cliffs, scraping the surface with their teeth, chipping off bits of mineral crust, and consuming them like crunchy, mildly illegal potato chips. This isn't quiet, polite grazing. This is intense, committed rock chomping that leaves their teeth worn down and their behaviour slightly altered. After a good session, they might stagger a little, wander aimlessly, or stare at nothing like they're rethinking their whole life arc. Why do they do it? Some scientists think it supplements their diet with essential minerals. Others think the intoxicating effects are a bonus feature. But judging by the lengths they go climbing sheer walls, ignoring predators, risking dramatic falls, it seems the buzz might be part of the appeal. Basically, these sheep treat cliffs the way some people treat vending machines, with questionable judgment and unwavering determination. Number 3. Songbirds getting drunk off berries. Picture a tiny, delicate songbird light, graceful, the embodiment of innocence. Now imagine that same bird slamming into a window because it ate too many fermented berries. Songbirds, especially during fall and winter, frequently get tipsy because berries left on branches start fermenting naturally. In other words, birds are out here accidentally doing shots. Once the sugar in overripe fruit turns to alcohol, birds chow down without any concept of limit, or maybe I should eat something first. Their tiny bodies process alcohol differently than ours, so even a small amount turns them into chaotic little feathered missiles. Wildlife rehab centres have literal drunk tanks for birds until they sober up. Some of them get bold, some get loud, some sit on a branch swaying gently like a sentimental uncle at a holiday dinner. It's adorable and slightly chaotic. Evolutionarily, berries were supposed to be a reliable food source. Nobody told birds that sometimes their lunch becomes a winery, and the birds certainly aren't complaining. Basically, these creatures created nature's smallest bar scene without even knowing it. Number 2. Elephants raiding marula fruit. Somewhere in the African savannah, a herd of elephants is peacefully minding its business until someone smells marula fruit. Ripe marula drops from trees, ferments on the ground, and turns into nature's version of a tropical cocktail. Elephants who can sniff out water miles away definitely know when fruit has gone a little fizzy. And once they find it, party mode, these giants have been known to gorge on fermented marula until their balance wobbles, their steps get loopy, and their trunks start behaving like confused pool noodles. Whether they're actually drunk is still debated. Elephants are big, and it takes a lot to affect them, but their behaviour after marula binges looks suspiciously similar to someone trying to pretend they're fine after 3 margaritas. Scientists argue about this constantly. Some say it's impossible for elephants to eat enough fermented fruit to get tipsy. Others say, "Buddy, have you seen what they do?" Villagers have reported elephants acting rowdy, knocking things over, or marching in wavy lines like they're doing a sobriety test no one asked for. Even if the intoxication is mild, the motivation is clear. Marula tastes amazing. Sweet, citrusy, full of sugar. Evolution said, have a wholesome snack. And elephants said, what if we made it chaotic? Basically, these animals invented happy hour and didn't even need a bartender. Number 1. Cats and catnip the furry addicts. You already know this one, but you may not appreciate how intense it really is. Cats don't just like catnip. They act like they've discovered the universe's cheat codes. One whiff of this innocent-looking plant, and suddenly your quiet house tiger is rolling on the floor, sprinting in zigzags, or staring into space like it's receiving messages from the mothership. Catnip contains nepetalactone, an oil that hijacks a cat's sensory receptors. It triggers the same parts of their brain associated with social and exploratory behaviours, basically flipping the switch that says, time to go feral. The effect lasts about 10 minutes, during which your cat becomes a fuzzy chaos machine powered by vibes alone. Before you judge them, understand this reflex had survival roots. Wild cats use scent-based stimulation to explore their environment, practice hunting reflexes, and reduce stress. Catnip just hijacks that system and cranks it past normal. It's enrichment, with a side of madness. Some cats get hyper, some get euphoric, some flop on their side and melt into the carpet like furry butter. And a small percentage feel absolutely nothing because genetics said, not your circus, not your catnip. Basically, catnip turns domestic predators into unhinged gremlins, and they love every second of it. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.